What if the life you are chasing is the life someone else already chose to live? This is a story about a fisherman, a businessman, and four words that changed everything. In a small village by the sea lived a man named Marco, a simple fisherman, not famous, not rich, just a man who understood something most people spend their whole lives searching for. Every morning before sunrise, Marco would push his boat into the water, cast his net, and by noon, he was done. He would walk home, eat lunch with his wife, settle under his favorite tree, strum his old guitar, and fall asleep with his cat on his lap. Day after day, the same beautiful routine. To Marco, this was everything. One afternoon, a businessman named Eduardo arrived in the village. Always busy, always planning, always rushing. Walking along the shore, he spotted Marco, asleep under a tree, cat on his lap, hat over his face, at 2 in the afternoon. He walked over. "Excuse me, weren't you out fishing this morning?" Marco opened one eye. "That's me." "Why are you just sitting here?" "I've done enough," Marco said. "My family is fed. I have what I need." Eduardo leaned forward. "But think about what you could do. Go out more times a day, catch more fish, make more money, buy a bigger boat, then a second boat, build a whole company. In 15 years, you could be truly rich." Marco looked up calmly. "And then what?" Eduardo smiled. "Then you retire. Relax, travel, play music, spend time with your family. Sit by the sea. Do whatever you like." Marco looked at him gently and said, "Señor, that is exactly what I'm doing right now." Eduardo opened his mouth and closed it again. He stood completely still. He looked around, really looked. The sparkling water, children running barefoot, a woman singing from inside a cottage, the smell of bread baking. He had spent 15 years climbing, sacrificing sleep, health, weekends, quiet mornings, slow evenings, moments he could never get back. All of it to reach a place this fisherman had never left. He sat down beside Marco, briefcase forgotten, phone silent, and for a long time, neither man said a word. Here is what Marco understood, that most of us spend a lifetime learning. More is not always better. Working harder does not always mean living better. The smartest question you will ever ask is not, "How do I get more?" It is, "How much is actually enough for me?" Marco was not lazy. He woke before dawn every day. He worked with skill and intention, but he knew exactly when to stop. And that is a rare and powerful wisdom. We live in a world that glorifies the grind, that tells you to rest only when you have earned it. Marco never bought into that story. He decided what enough looked like and built every single day around that answer. Time, family, music, peace, protected not with money, but with clarity. On the morning Eduardo left, he shook Marco's hand. "Will you be all right?" Marco asked. Eduardo looked back at the village one last time. The tree, the ocean, the children, his wife waving. He smiled. A real one. "I think I am finally going to find out." He drove away, and in his mirror, he watched Marco walk back toward the sea, toward another ordinary, extraordinary morning. Marco never owned a fleet of ships. His name never appeared in any magazine, but every evening, as the sky turned gold over the water, and his children laughed, and his wife hummed from the kitchen, Marco felt something Eduardo had been chasing for 15 years. Complete, quiet, enough. So before you go back to your list, your goals, your hustle, just one question. What would be enough for you? The goal is not to do more. It is to need less and enjoy more.